Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Patreon patrons, YouTube subscribers, and anyone who just so happens to stumble across these videos. Welcome to another exciting edition of Sketchbook Tours with Johnston Blackhorse, and we will be continuing last week's sketchbook tour because lo and behold, it's another big A sketchbook. Anyway, I marked off where we left off last week, and we were shoot, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. All right, we were here. As you can see, dude about to get kicked in the face by this one guy doing a kung fu like roundhouse midair jump kick or whatever. And moving on, we have like little to nothing. Isn't that exciting? Oh shoot, man. Moving on. Wow. I put a lot of effort into this page. Here we have like a fully inked page. Pretty interesting characters. Got a dragon in here in the background. Dude with one-eyed dude with a goblet offering us a drink. Pretty hot looking lady back there. And then a couple of bad looking individuals here at the bottom. Intense chick with an eye patch. And a very serious looking dude with pretty like I'd have to say he was like he had like friggin' white hair or something. Anyway, moving on. Page of faces, guy with a long nose. More facial sketches. As you can see, like I think I'll always have like some sort of anime influence with all my art, everything that I draw. It's just how I learned to draw is just I think ever since I saw Thundercats when I was growing up, I've always wanted to learn how to draw that way. There's a friggin' huge bug flying around. Oh, shoot. Okay, I got it. I killed the bug. Oh, caught it with my bare hands. Anyway, like I was saying, I think watching Thundercats when I was like just a kid, like really influenced like my desire to learn how to draw, and just got me into like anime in the first place. Because like a lot of the animated intros back when I was a kid were animated overseas, and they were pretty heavily anime influenced. And it's just that art style and the fluidity and the action portrayed in all of that art is just like it was amazing to me. It just mesmerized me as a kid, and from then on, I always wanted to learn how to draw in that fashion, and just like really kicked off my desire to become an animator. And it's still a lifelong pursuit of mine, even though I somewhat attained it, but then lost it after having to go to prison. Ah, shit, that was shitty. God damn, man. Jeez. Oh, why the hell did I have to go to prison? Fuck. No, sorry. Sorry for the curse words. I shouldn't be cursing so much. But, yeah, like, after having to go to prison is like, just really set me back. And so this is me just trying to get back into like having to like getting back into a career of involving art. Really, that's why I have a Patreon page, and getting my blog back up, and I'm trying to crank out content as much as possible. And I'm more or less like just drawing all day, every day, in order to get back some assimilation something similar to like the career that I almost had going as a successful animator, because I got to animate on several projects, which I'm very proud of. I am an accredited animator on Skullgirls, the downloadable video game. Unfortunately, I didn't get to animate on the sequel, as when that came out, I was working for a company, and also I think I was on pre-trial at the time, which really sucked because I really wanted to animate on that, but situations beyond my control negated me from doing so. And I did get to work on an episode of Ugly Americans, and personally, I do feel like it was an underrated cartoon, and um, I really enjoyed working on that, even though I'm not accredited, because I worked under a contractor, a subcontractor of a subcontractor. But it was pretty fun to work on, and if anyone's interested, I worked on the episode. Oh shoot, I can't remember what it was called. A character by the name of Tad, voiced by Kevin Spacey, and I got to work on that episode. And one of the scenes that no, sorry, there's a curse word there. Holy fucking shit! I don't know what to draw. It's just like me in one of those crisis situations where I just don't know what to draw on a certain particular given time. Oh, what does it say? Shh! It's best that no one else finds out about this. Black Horse. Oh, wait. Does this continue? Oh, shoot, it does. We've been standing here for 10 minutes. You're supposed to show us some new things to use in our animations. And this is an old animation crew I used to work with in one of my previous places of employment, which I'm glad I don't have to work at now, because I was really overworked. That was the place where I had to work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, for several weeks at a time, just in order to like friggin' meet particular deadlines. And it was really hell trying to meet these deadlines, because essentially I was doing two jobs at once. Not only was I having to redesign and redraw a lot of the designs handed to me because they were unusable for animation, once those animations or like assets were redrawn and redesigned by me, I had to go upon it to actually do my job, which was animating. So I had to redesign them and then do all that before I had to do any form of animation, and that took a lot of work. So throughout my like working day, like my regular working day, I would be just caught up in redesigning like mini assets at a time, until finally at the end of the day, when they were finished, I would then finally be able to animate. And I would then like spend many overtime hours just animating. And oh man, it was hell. Because working 20 hours a day, I was only able to give myself 3 hours of sleep, and then saving an extra hour to just go out, go back home, take a shower, change my clothes, and then come back and do another 20 hours. Yeah, it was really difficult. And just another little thing here is this is me again. Back, it looks like I had short hair. I had a shaven face with a bit of scruff, and that was my favorite hat. Like, I had this black cap with a skull on it, and I lost it in a casino parking lot. And I think the only reason I lost it is because it was really windy at the time, and uh, through this windstorm, like the cap must have like gotten ripped off. Um, well, my keychain, because when I wasn't wearing my hat, I would keep my hat on my keychain because I have a pretty impressive keychain, and the hat was held there by a little strap of Velcro, and the wind must have caught it, carried it away, and before I knew it, my hat was gone. It was very sad. Anyway, as I was saying, where was I? Like Thundercats inspiration, heavily influenced by anime. But yeah, like I just really just those first few years of just like getting into anime and like not even knowing what it was. Like Thundercats led me to like just trying to watch any like form of like action intense animation I could find. And at the time when I was a kid, like there was this animated block on what was called the movie channel back then. And I think they were like these late night segments in which they would show Japanese animation. And one of those animated movies was Dominion Tank Police. Now, Dominion Tank Police was like a series of like a like an animated series, but the segment that they showed on the movie channel was like 3 episodes compiled into one movie. And watching that one movie, it was like really intense as a child for me to watch because it had like a lot of gunplay. You have like these uh, policemen patrolling the streets in frickin' tanks, and that was just such a crazy thing to see as a child growing up, and just noting the characters Anna and Uni Puma, the Puma sisters, who were cat girls. They do a little strip tease on that Dominion Tank Police movie that they showed back then. It was just some pretty intense stuff to watch as a kid, and like from then on, I was just hooked onto the whole concept and idea of Japanese anime. Even though even at the time, like I didn't even know what Japanese anime was. Not until I was, I think, in either middle school or the beginning of high school, did I come to know what Japanese animation was, and the term utilized to describe it just being or identify it was anime. And from then on, like I was always drawing as a kid, and then knowing what anime and manga was, I just narrowed my search and interests toward those areas and toward those ends. So every time I would go to a bookstore or a video store, I'd always go straight to the manga, graphic novel, or anime section in either of these stores. Uh, this is me making a note of my foreshortening abilities on this particular day. Yeah, my foreshortening sucks today. Yeah, that's my stupid voice for when I'm just being stupid. And yeah, like as you can tell, like I think like no matter what I do now, since that's what I grew up like emulating, like I'll never be able to stop like having my art somewhat mimic or just reveal that it's anime influenced. Even though like all this stuff is old, a lot of my current stuff like is a little more realistic sometimes, and I do tend to play with a lot of different styles in my artwork because I draw under several different pseudonyms. The one with the pseudonyms that I've mentioned are Natus_01, Behawk, Rule 34 Rocks, and just my name when mine and my name in general. But I think each one I've under each pseudonym, like I've gotten a comment stating that my work is very heavily anime influenced, or like people can sense that there is anime influence in there. And there are times where I try to stray away from it, and I found that even when I do try to make my stuff not look so anime, people still make that comment. So I guess it's just something that I just can't shake. So I may as well just live with it and just enjoy it while I can, instead of just trying to make an issue out of it. And you know, like I said, you got to have fun with your art. If you're not having fun doing it, you know, like what's the point? I wish I could have dated these sketchbooks, because don't know when. And oh wait, there we go. November 27th, 2006. So this was a little over a decade ago. And here we have, I think these are ballpoint pen sketches. Here we got like a little robot character. Guy looks like he's getting sucked up by a tree. And here's a little Cromartie High School reference. Is Mekarata, or I can't remember what his name is. It's been too long since I've seen that. Hey Bryce, what's up? Yeah, my roommate Bryce just came home. And here we have more sketches. There's me, and there's I guess another dude in the background. Sometimes I'll just like sketch just to sketch, you know, just to draw hand gestures, facial features, play with my shading, work on my boob anatomy. Boob anatomy is very important. I guess I should refer to it as breast anatomy. Ah, jeez, I'm a perv. Oh well. Well, what can I do about it? Hey, make money drawing cheesecake and non-nude erotic art. What do you want me to do about it? Eh? There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just trying to make a living over here. There's another character, and what he's saying is, there's nothing you can do to stop it. You're doomed. And Roman numeral 3. And looks like I started. Sometimes I'll just draw like little random comic strips. Like, no, I won't let it. And it just kind of peters off from there. Anyway, it's just like really fun to just like work on like poses or whatever, just to work them out in your head and plot them out and stuff. Here's a guy just like powering up some sort of power move or something. Pretty cool. And here's my iPod saying "feed me." I think it's because my iPod just really dies pretty quickly. Like whenever I listen to music, over time it just needed to be constantly charged, and now it just hardly lasts a day without needing to be charged, and I hardly use it. Here's another dude.
Son of a bitch.
Another mosquito flying around. I just killed one not too long ago. A guy with 5 bullet shells in his face. Oh wait, yeah. Okay. This, if we go back, oh, that's what that room and numeral 3 is for. This is when I started like associating a number with my sketches. Okay, here we go again. Okay, so here's 1, just written on that guy's shoulder, and here 2. I'm holding up the number 2 right up here in this sheet, and Roman numeral 3. I gotta really work on my linguistic capabilities and my enunciation. But yeah, Roman numeral 3, and in this page, this guy's got 4 keys on his keychain. I don't know if you can see it there. And on this page, there's 5 bullet shells. So as you see, like sometimes I'll pick up this theme where I'll like number my pages. Of course, like we're well into like 50 or so pages in here, but like I guess starting from a certain date, I'll start numbering these sketches and like incorporate like a number in each particular sketch. And in this sketch, this is what triggered it. It was like 6 eyeballs. So there's like 3 pairs of eyes for a total of 6 eyes. So And here there should be like maybe a number 7 or something. I don't know. Maybe I stopped doing it at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there are 7 faces. 7 faces. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the number theme is still going, and a bunch of figures here. So I assume there's 8 figures on this one page. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 figures. There's one with an AK, just like a general like figure studies, just getting used to just trying to draw the human form in different different poses. Now, let's see. This looks like another action scene. Squeak. Beep beep. Screech. Do, 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 do. This is a one-way, a-hole. And we have the Roman numeral 9. So this is the 9th sketch in this little deal here. Guy looking in his rearview mirror. His rearview mirror is just a bunch of cops. Wee wee wee. And here, I guess there should be a 10. Yeah, I guess it's a continuation of the last one. He's shooting back at the cops. Cops are getting cop cars getting shot up. And this guy reaches for he's got like an array of weapons on his passenger seat, and he hits the cruise control on his steering wheel, and there's an X, which could also represent the Roman numeral 10. Got cruise control. He lets go of the steering wheel. Cops behind him are screaming expletives because they don't know, they can't believe what they're seeing right now. And there's a guy standing up. Just he was driving, now he's standing up shooting an AK right back at the cops. And here we have a Roman numeral 11 represented by an X and an I. Why is there a 120 there? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. And we have the cops here getting shot up. Pat, 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 pat. And then a continuation. Yeah. Cop cars all shot up. Wheel, wheel, wheel. Vroom, scream. Crash. And then we have a splendid freaking crash scene. Another cop car gets launched and crashes over another car. And it's just a complete mess. Pile up. More crashing. And oh, there's the number 12 for this page. Helicopter just flying over all the wreckage. And that's, I guess, it for that. That's it for that story. And here we have looks like some fan art of some Street Fighter characters. This looks like it's Cammy. And here's a little sketchy representation of me. I don't do fan art as much as I usually. Sorry. I don't do fan art as much as I should. By the way, number 13. Yeah, so that was number 13 for that page. Here we have number 14. I think this was an actual rap musician. I can't remember what her name was. If she looks familiar, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, but that was 14. And here's another sketchy representation of me. I could be taking a walk outside right now. Oh my gosh, I gotta work on my spelling. Yeah, it's sometimes one of the things you sacrifice is just, hey, should I exercise or should I draw? I don't know. Now, I think this page or the sketch number is represented by the number of roses in this rose bush, which grew to look like a face. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 roses. Well, isn't that special? Here's a Homer Simpson reference. Oh no, we have a number 16. But let's see. There's only one way to do this, Chief, and that's my way, the max power way. If you step out that door, you're off the force! You hear me, power? Off the force! Yeah. So as you can see, I tend to have a little fun sometimes, just, in my own mind, just drawing random stuff in my sketchbooks. But that's part of the fun. And I assume, since this previous page was 16, I assume I drew 17 hands on this page. So as you can see, I'm getting a little more detailed on how to draw like arm musculature, drawing a lot of hands in different poses, just wanting to get good at it and just have it flow out naturally. So yeah, like once you're able to like draw like all these figures or hand studies or like feet studies like without any issues, then you can more or less draw like whatever character or whatever pose that you want, just just doing whatever you want, and just like without without much thought put into it. And like when you can get to that point when it all just flows out naturally, that's like when you can really, well, more or less congratulate yourself, but you just can't spend too much time like being comfortable in that, because like I said, like you as an artist, you never want to plateau. You always want to just keep striving forward. And number 18 on this page, and his huh?
You might do the flying V, the YP.
I have no idea what you're saying. Well, here we have more female anatomy sketches, just learning or teaching myself how to draw the female form. And as many of you know, I can draw the female form very well, but like as you can see, it took a lot of practice. So just drawing like a bunch of figures just all over a page, just teaching myself how to draw it, and like taking a moment to step back and really like analyze like what it is, or like what it is that makes like this sketch, like I guess proper or correct to the eye. Because sometimes when you draw a figure, like a lot of the shapes and like muscles may be out of proportion. Like personally, I can see like just minor details and like several design structures or like things just like wrong with each one of these sketches. But that just comes from being able to like practice a lot, and just like know where the anatomy, what the anatomy structure looks like bone structure and muscle structure. And we got the number 19 right there in Roman numerals. But anyway, like I was saying, it just comes with a lot of practice, and I did put in a lot of practice when learning how to draw human anatomy and female proportions, as you can see. And there are many, many, many more drawings much like this in many of my sketchbooks, and you will be able to see those in more sketchbook tours to come. There's the number 20, and this is going to be the last page I'll go over in this sketchbook tour. Oh, wait. We don't have much longer, but since we're coming up on the 30-minute mark, I may as well just cut it off here. But as you can see, there's like I just draw the female figure a lot, and I have more sketchbooks with a lot more figure studies like this, and each sketchbook there's just that much more improvement. So take it from me, if you want to get good at drawing like a particular subject matter, you just have to keep working at it. You have to have that drive, that passion to just work on it day in and day out, and just never quit. Um, and you always like remember to just have fun with it, because you got to have fun with it. You got to enjoy it. Otherwise, it's just going to be like work, and you're just going to more or less be torturing yourself every day. But as long as you enjoy it, like fucking, you never work a day in your life. Yeah, here's to not working. Woo! Anyway, since we're past 30-minute mark, I'll leave you with that, and we'll continue this sketchbook tour next week on next week's sketchbook tours with Johnston Blackhorse. And this has been me, your host, Johnston Blackhorse, and I hope you enjoyed this tour of another one of my sketchbooks. And I hope you're able to gain something from it, maybe some inspiration, or gain some sort of a note or insight on what it is that helped me continue to advance my artistic skills and passion and such. And I hope you're able to utilize it in your own art if you choose to. Anyway, until I see you or talk to you guys next time, I'll talk to you guys next time. Yeah. So, yeah. Check you guys later.